So it has been probably about a year since I did a live on here, so bear with me. So I'm going to come on tonight to talk all about CBD oil. If you've seen my video on our profile with Joshua, my son who has autism, I have two children with autism and a daughter with Down syndrome. We all take CBD oil, have done for the last 7 years. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the journey of and all the frequently asked questions that come with CBD oil. I've had so many people contacting me and asking questions, and I just want to help people to understand CBD oil a little bit more. So this is our CBD oil here. This is now my new own brand. It is from the same company that I've been using for the last 7 years, and I just rebranded it as my own oil because I want to share my story and try and change people's views on CBD oil and what it does and the effects of it and how an amazing product it is. And because a lot of people have a lot of misconception about CBD oil and automatically presume it's something to do with cannabis or to do with the wacky type of cannabis that you would have when you take it for recreational purposes, or the Amsterdam type one. So this is the same oil I've been using for the last 5 years, which is why I will stand over at 100%. It is a new crop of it. It's even better than the one. So every few years it's a new crop of oil, and we have been testing this one out for the last 6 months, and it's working fantastically. And it's from an Irish farm here in Ireland, so it's in County Wicklow, made by farmers that are third generation farmers. I've loads of videos up as well down on the farm. What I will be doing later on in the year is basically bringing you on the journey to show you how organic it is. It's certified organic, it's certified vegan, it is guaranteed Irish. So this is the oil here. So this has changed our complete lives. I'll be going through all the dosages now in a little while, and how to take it, how to mix it, all the questions that everybody's asking. I'm going to try and cover as many as I can tonight, so that it helps people to understand CBD oil a lot more. So we started taking it. I had never really heard of CBD oil, never really heard of cannabis. I'm a complete anti-drug person. I did try cannabis in my 20s, didn't like it, never took drugs, so I'm not a drug person. So therefore, for me to be promoting this is proof that it is not a drug. So this actually classes as a food supplement. So just to give you a quick background, so my son, my eldest boy is 19, and then I have an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old. So the 19-year-old is diagnosed with Asperger's. Nowadays they call it all autism. Back then it's called Asperger's back when he was taking it, or he was diagnosed with it. My second boy, who's 8, has autism, and my little girl is 7. She has Down syndrome. So as you can imagine, it's quite a stressed life as a special needs mom. I'm a single mom. I was a completely single mom with Jamie, my eldest boy, and then I've separated from the kid's parent, the kid's dad, a few years ago. So I'm here on my own with the 3 kids. I have a lovely partner now who is very, very supportive and great with me. So that's a little bit of background. So Jamie didn't get diagnosed until he was around 7. He's very different to Joshua. They're like, this is where I still say Asperger's versus autism because they're complete opposite. And Asperger's is, I still believe, is very one way. A lot of symptoms this way. Joshua is very different the other way. They're nearly complete opposite, but have the same kind of traits, if that makes sense. So Jamie growing up was very insular, very, very intellectual, extremely intelligent. I never sat down to do homework with him ever in his entire life. He just gets things. He started reading. He was reading the newspaper at age 4. So I pictured him in the garden reading it. Never had any problems like that, but he had a lot of problems socially. He was very insular. He didn't need friends, didn't get surprises. Very matter of fact. If I told him, will you throw your dishes in the sink, next of all, I'd hear a crash bang and he'd have thrown the dishes into the sink, literally. So very literal. If he didn't like somebody, he was very straight and went, I don't like you. There was no tact, there was no filter. And like in school, for example, he was asked one day to name a liquid in science, and he went beer, and they were like, oh my God, you can't say that. And he argued, going, it's a liquid. And I was so I had to explain to him about not being appropriate, so that kind of thing. James was also born with clubfoot, so was told he would never walk properly. He'd have one foot bigger than the other. Clubfoot is basically talipes, and he walked the wall of China. So my children are very determined, I think, because I'm extremely determined, that I focus very much on abilities, not disabilities, because everybody, like all of us are on the spectrum, all of us have issues, and I think it's just a matter of focusing on what they're good at. Joshua, on the other hand, was born 2015 and was typical baby up to the age of 18 months, 18, 19 months. Very much, it was babbling, chatting away, had a few words, would eat everything, very friendly, loved loved interacting with people, playing with his kids, playing with his brother, and just typical baby as such. Then around when I was pregnant with Molly when he was around 18 months, and Molly had a heart condition at the time during the pregnancy, and which was very highly associated with Down syndrome. So we had a feeling she was going to have Down syndrome. So anyway, she did, and so around the time there was a lot going on because I was in hospital a lot with Molly's pregnancy, and therefore I was putting everything down to his behaviour was down to all the changes that were going on, new baby coming to the house. So I was kind of ignoring a lot of the stuff, but yet I was kind of looking, going. So around 18, 19 months, he started stimming a lot. And so his hands would flap a lot. He would, now looking back in videos, he was doing that earlier, but I didn't notice it. But it was a lot more evident after that. He started to regress completely. He went into himself. He stopped talking completely. Stopped even making sounds bar screaming. Anytime he was talking, he was screeching or screaming because he could be very agitated because he wasn't able to verbally talk. Worst part is he lost eye contact, absolutely zero eye contact, and we actually thought he was deaf, and we'd call him, and I have all this on video. This video's gone viral several times. I've updated the video, which is now on my profile page, so make sure you give me a follow and have a look at the video. So he went, he went really just completely into himself, no interaction with his brother. When Molly was here, he acted like she wasn't even here, like she wasn't even alive. I actually questioned myself sometimes, going, we called him, got his hearing checked, no problem with his hearing, and it got worse, and not worse and worse, it just got more and more away from us, and it was really, really hard because there was a lot going on. Molly was having heart surgery, the meltdowns were constant, couldn't go anywhere, so we got a diagnosis done. We got it done privately. Here in Ireland, the system is so behind, but so we went private and instantly said yes, 100% non-verbal autism. And then we ended up going through the government here and got a public diagnosis as well. We started occupational therapy, speech therapy, physiotherapy. He bounced on his knees 24 hours a day, non-stop, all night long. He'd be awake, just bouncing, screeching. Anywhere in the car was a nightmare. We'd have to pull over and get out just to walk away and calm down because he would go ballistic in long journeys. Crowds were a no-no, shopping centres were a no-no. So it was a really tough life. So in the end, what we did, he was in a mainstream creche from earlier on, and they were very adaptive to him being there after the regression, because he just played on his own and he was happy playing on his own. And he would be a little bit anxious around kids coming at him. He just had no interaction with them and just pushed them away, or he'd have a meltdown or stuff like that, but they were quite accommodating. So in the end, we started doing family days out without him because he was used to his routine and he was happy in his routine. So therefore it was easier to just go and do stuff with the other two kids because it wasn't fair on them losing out. Molly, having Down syndrome, was so lovable and so wanting love, and he was just blanking her. It was so sad to watch. Anyway, long story short, we were at home one day. A nurse was coming to check Molly after her operation, and she said to me, he was having a complete meltdown. I said, look, I'm sorry, I have to go in and sort him. And she was like, oh, work away, because I have a nephew with autism. So she said, don't worry, I understand it totally. So, great, thank you. So anyway, we dealt with him, and then I came back in, and she said, have you ever tried CBD oil? I was like, I wouldn't give my child cannabis. I knew CBD was something to do with cannabis, but I was like, no. And she was a nurse. So I was like, okay, tell me about it. So she explained to me that it's a food supplement. It's like taking a vitamin tablet, but the cannabinoids in it basically hit parts of the body that help with calming and relaxing and anxiety. She said, we've tried it on our nephew and we have miraculous results. So of course, as a special needs mum, the first thing you want to do, anything I can do to help my child. So I googled and researched. We're going back 7 years ago. So again, it wasn't as much information about CBD oil. It was kind of a non-talked about product. It still kind of is, because people still associate it with cannabis, as in marijuana. So there's two types of CBD. You have CBD with THC and without. So the one with THC in it is like the medical cannabis, and that one is illegal in most countries at the moment. It has been legalised a lot in America, but over in Ireland it's completely illegal, and they're fighting for regularisation of it to try and make it legal, because it is amazing. So they have basically got that the one with THC in it is the one that's addictive, the one that gives you the high. It works amazing with different problems like Parkinson's and stuff like that, but it's not monitored enough to okay it yet. The CBD oil, on the other hand, is completely legal. It's completely safe in Ireland, and again, check your country where you are, what the legalities are. It changes everywhere. It's basically classed as a food supplement. So what CBD oil actually does is it's not the CBD oil that does stuff to you. What it does actually kickstarts your endocannabinoid system. And it's so funny because I was talking to a friend of mine who's a paramedic the other day, and she'd never even heard of an endocannabinoid system. I'll be going through tastes and stuff later on, so just stay with me for a moment. I'll just get through this. I'm going to go through all the dosages, the prices, how to take it, all that kind of stuff shortly. So we all have systems in our body. Your nervous system, your and I am not an expert on CBD oil. I'm just taking it 7 years, and I've researched the living daylights out of it. So this is my information as I perceived it. I'm not an expert, so don't quote me on this. Please go and see your doctor if you're unsure of anything. So basically, you have an endocannabinoid system, which is basically in charge. It's kind of oversees your digestive system, your nervous system, all the different systems. It doesn't work naturally, though. It's there, but it doesn't really work unless it's triggered. And CBD oil is one of the things that triggers it. So this was actually one of the scientists that I'm working with, and one of the farmers were explaining to me that years ago, hemp plants were everywhere. They were just grown naturally. They're a natural product. And so all the animals were eating these hemp plants as part of their food. So through the ecosystem, we were actually getting CBD into our bodies for years. And then whatever amount of years ago, 30, 40 years ago, they started to limit the growth of hemp because it started being associated with cannabis. And it's a cousin plant. It's a sister plant or cousin plant, whatever you want to call it. So it is part of the cannabis family, but it's a completely different plant, has different elements to it. So when they started limiting where it was grown and who was having it. The animals then obviously stopped having it, and therefore we stopped having it naturally in our food and stuff like that. And I honestly think that, and we were talking about this, I honestly think this is a lot of the reason that over the years anxiety has boosted so much. Like when I was in school, nobody had panic attacks. Very few people had autism. Very few people had ADHD. Very few people had self-harming. There was very little. And I know society has changed so much because of social media and all that kind of stuff. But I do think there's a huge element to do with that, because our endocannabinoid systems were being kickstarted then as well. So anyway, when the endocannabinoid system is moving, which takes it about 2 weeks for it to get triggered. If you take your oil every day for 2 weeks, it gets this system moving, and therefore that system then is like the control panel. It helps to boost the nervous system, the digestive system. So therefore it eases off the anxiety, eases off the stress, helps with food digestion, helps with stuff. And when all that anxiety has come down, so especially with kids with autism in particular, or kids with sensory issues, or ADHD, or anything like that, if you imagine all this noise going on in your head, all these sensory issues, all of these kind of, stuff going on in your head, and suddenly they're calmed down, then you can actually focus on what you're doing, So I started taking it to see, I don't suffer with anxiety. I do meditation. I do Reiki, so I'm a very calm person. But I found, obviously I have a hectic life with 3 kids with special needs. So what I found was when I went on it, for the first couple of weeks, I didn't really feel any different. It was like taking a vitamin tablet. I didn't really think, I was like, oh, maybe this is not working for me. And this is what happens a lot, is people take it for a week or two. I'm sorry about the snoring, by the way, in the background. My little pug is here on my lap, snoring his brains out. So I started taking it, didn't feel any real difference, but when I came off it a couple of weeks later, that's when I realised, oh my God, I was so good on it, and I've never been off it since. So it's non-addictive, it's non-psychoactive. Basically, the way I felt it working was my stress levels went right down, my tolerance levels went right down. So if the kids were all having a bad day, or you usually have a hectic day trying to get out of the house, come on everybody, let's go. Before I was on CBD oil, I'd be like, come on, let's go, we have to get going. So therefore I was all agitated and had anxiety. Now I'm kind of going, okay, well, I'll get everything organised first, and then I'll put the children in the car, and then I'll go make sure they have food, I'll make sure they have a drink, I'll do this. And you just have that moment of calmness to kind of go, okay, I know what I need to do, and I'll just go and do it. Same at night time, I was going to bed every night going, oh my God, 100 things to do. I'm never going to get it all done. So therefore I was having sleepless nights. going, I was waking up at 3 a.m. I had to have a pen and paper beside the bed so I could write down notes as I was going. And then to wake up in the morning going, oh my God, now I have so many things to do. And I was getting nothing done. I was going around in circles because I was going, I have so much to do, but I can't do anything. Now I wake up in the morning and I write a list of stuff I need to do and I go, okay, well, let's just do it. So I go number 1, tick, number 2, tick. And I get the majority of it done. The rest I put on a list for tomorrow, and I go to bed and go, I'll just go to sleep now and rest my head because I know everything's going to get done. So for me, that's how the biggest thing I find. I sleep better. My stress levels are down, and my tolerance is much better. I'm calm, and I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions as parents, whether you have kids with special needs or not. So whether you, like, as a parent or in general life, if you are calm and you are organized and you are relaxed, it rubs off on your kids, and they're relaxed and they're calm and they read off you. So if you're having a bad, it's like if your best friend around you, she's feeling really down and crying, you're naturally going to go down in your energy because you empathize with them. So it happens the same way with us. So I think it's really important to look after yourself first and make sure you're in a good place, you're organized, you're focused, so that you are organized for your kids and organized for it. So for me, I couldn't go a day without this, honest to God. And I have come off it several times over the years for a couple of weeks just to see, just to kind of remind myself what it was like. And I'm like, whoa, no, I'm back on it again. And the same with the kids. I have taken Joshua off it several times, where one time we ran out of oil and I was like, oh my God, I reminded myself of how stressful it was without it. So therefore for me, I'm never coming off, and neither are the kids. Okay, so let's talk dosages. So, and how to take it. So a lot of people, it doesn't taste nice. There's no simple way about it. It's not great tasting. And if you find an oil that has a lovely flavour and all that, generally it's the stuff that's been added to it takes away from the problem or the effect of the oil and the potency of the oil. You need to check when you're, research the oil that you're going to start. I'm not saying, like, every oil works differently on everybody. There's no two people will have the same things, but generally this oil has worked. I have a lot of followers who use CBD oil for kids with autism, ADHD, stress, anxiety, or themselves, and have a great effects of it. But it's down to each person. Everybody has different CB receptors. Everybody takes things different way. It can do with your height, your weight, your system, how it works. So there's all these different factors. So if you try a CBD oil and it doesn't work, don't give up on CBD oil. It just means that's not the right oil for you. A lot of people so many people come on and go, oh, I tried CBD oil, and I was like, oh, how long did you take it for? And they're like, oh, I took it for 2 days. I took it once a day. And I'm like, that's not enough. You need to give this 2 to 3 weeks to really see how it works and see the benefits of it. You need to take it consistently every day. It's like an antibiotic. If you don't take it, it's not going to work. It doesn't taste nice. That's the honest God truth about it. So little tips for taking it. Always shake it really, really well, because when oil obviously settles, you will have a lot of the, the heavier bit down the bottom. And if you squeeze it, you're actually taking it from the bottom, and you're going to take the kind of sedentary bit. So definitely give it a good shake before you start. For taking it then, you have little, sorry, this is a new bottle. So you have your measurements on the bottle. So roughly 0.7 mils is what we take. And that's almost a full dropper, all right? So it's like a full dropper morning and evening. Where do you get it in? As it's not legal in Ireland since December. No, see, this CBD oil is legal. This is all HSE approved. It's the one with THC in it that's not legal. That's the difference, and that's where people get confused. So there has to be under 0.2% of THC in a CBD oil to make it legal in Ireland. So this is legal. This is under the 0.2%. I do have the cert, which I will have up on the website. Bad time day. I will have the cert up on with the actual scientific results on it from the testing on the website. So my website's focusbyrhona.com. So focusbyrhonax.com. But if you follow me on here, it's all linked on my page there. So take the oil. And what the best way to take it is sublingually under the tongue. That way it goes straight into the system, and it works really much faster. You can mix it with food, then it goes through the digestive system, and it takes a little bit longer and will take it a little bit off the effect of it. So which is fine and it can be done. It will still work for you, because a lot of kids, especially with sensory needs, don't like the taste of it. What I did with my kids when we started taking it, I just treated it like medicine. It was like Calpol. You're going to get it, it's going into you, and that's the end of it. And I just gave it to them like I would with Calpol. They got used to the taste. They'll still moan about the taste now and again. I'll moan about the taste now and again. Best thing to do is have a drink ready to go after you've done it. So what I do is I more or less bribe the kids. If you want a bit of Coke, I'll give you a Coke. But I'll bribe whatever I have to do. No more than I would do with medicine and stuff like that. But they see the effects. Of my kids come in now and take it themselves. They'll use the dropper themselves. Does it have to go under the tongue? Absolutely not. I don't think my kids have ever taken it under the tongue and held it. It does actually take a little bit. If you're an adult, yes, I would say do that. We've never had a problem just taking it normally. I'm just going to take it now just to show you, because I'm going to close the bottle. Sorry, the lid is catching here. So basically on the tongue or in the mouth. If you can, hold it for a few seconds. If you can't, don't worry. Just get it into the mouth. That's the main thing. So Rocco's coming up to say hello. I'm going to say hello. This is my gorgeous little puggy who takes oil as well, by the way. Dogs and animals have way more CBD receptors than humans. Sorry. Than humans have. And they react really well with it. But watch the space for that. There'll be more coming for that. So have a little drink after it, and that just takes away the taste of it, you know what I mean? But when you start seeing the effects of it, you won't give a shite about the taste, because the way it works. So just morning, you just get used to it. You can mix with food. So for kids and stuff like that, my kids just take it orally every day. It was a no tolerance level. You're taking that's the end of it. But sometimes I mix it in just for a top up. So the dosage is 0.7 mils morning and evening, religiously every day. And given it 2 to 3 weeks to really see the effects of it. No more than you would do if you're taking vitamins. You take them for a month to see if they're working or not. You will see some signs really soon after you take it, especially with kids with autism stuff. A calmness of sorts. And then you will see sorry, I'm catching up on these messages. I'm going to try and cover everything. So we'll get back to all these comments in a little while. So you will see kind of a calmness. I videoed everything. Hence I had all this video content, because I started to notice I saw more things in videos. Like even now I look back and go, I didn't even see him stimming before. Look at him jumping. That's actually stimming. Because when you get an autism diagnosis, it's hard to accept, and it really is a difficult time. So video everything. You can always look back at the videos and see it. Look at it when, and then you can compare the videos. Go, oh, look, he's not doing that anymore, and he is doing that, and he wasn't doing that. So I definitely found videoing was really, really helpful. We noticed differences within a day. We noticed that after the first day, he started eating different foods. So he came home. So most people, have a child with autism, they eat yellow foods as waffles, nuggets, chips, all that kind of stuff. The first day he came home from creche, I said to the creche, and I had told them nobody that we were doing it. I said, any differences in him today? She goes, oh my God, she goes, he ate broccoli today. And I was like, no way. The next day he had spaghetti bolognese, the next day chicken curry, and he started eating loads of different foods. Again, all video documented in my video on my page here. And then within a week or two, we started having eye contact back. Slowly over the next few months, we started playing with Molly. Sounds started coming. He started interactive play. So instead of just banging toys around, he started going with teddies, going do 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 to each other. I was mesmerised, absolutely blown away by all these comments. I cried a lot, because seeing him talk to me or to look at me and communicate with me was amazing. Just want to go back before I miss these comments. So the benefits, again, as I've just gone through most of them, I have a video of all of this on my website, focusbyrhona.com. So if you've missed some of the live, go to the video on the website. Everything is covered here. Everything I'm talking about tonight is covered on that. How long did we do before we seen him turn verbal? That was probably the longest part. So it was for us, he was completely non-verbal. So he started making sounds within a couple of weeks. The sounds then slowly started to turn to attempt at words. So it was really about 8 months after starting oil that I started to see kind of words coming together. But his communication with us improved within weeks of doing it. Again, there's no guarantee with anything. It's how your child takes it. It's how the body takes it. So I'm not guaranteeing this is going to do what I did for my son. But I do say if this doesn't, go try different CBD oil. My journey here is nothing to do with selling oil. It's to do with spreading awareness and making people's lives easier. So you've just joined. It's a CBD oil, but I have all this live. I will try and save and put on my Instagram account as well. Definitely helps with anxiety. And it is, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm just reading a quote here. My girl took it for the first time today and 90% less meltdowns. I'm so happy for you, because once you see signs of it's working, it's going to get better and better. that's the good thing. And be really positive about this. If you don't see signs in the first day, don't panic. Some people take longer, their systems take longer. Second antibiotics, sometimes people take longer to take it than other people. So don't panic, just be positive about it. I sat down at the beginning of my journey with CBD oil and went, this is going to work. I got into a real positive frame of mind. My son will talk. My son now is 8 and he goes to Man United matches in Man United Stadium all the time. Because he's in the local football team here. He's in the Scouts here. He's still in an ASD unit, but purely because he's now being diagnosed with dyspraxia and dyslexia. So he suffers a lot with getting things back to front and writing and stuff like that. So that's really the only reason. But he is in mainstream for a lot of his subjects, but his writing and stuff and he'll button up things the wrong way and he'll do things kind of the wrong way. Writing and reading are he suffers with as well. How do you buy it? FocusByRHONA.com is my website, all on there, and you'll see the videos there as well explaining it all. So yeah, some people are asking me as well. So where there's family, obviously there's 4 of us in the house that are on it. My boyfriend is also on it. He has ADHD and he has found it amazing. He's on it 4 months as well. So for ADHD, he has found where his brain was very, like when I met him first, he'd be having a conversation, then go bing into a different subject, bing, 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 all over the place. Now he's very focused, and that's why I called it focus. And he is very calm and can kind of get his thoughts together and is much more relaxed talking, so he can actually really focus on one conversation at a time. And he finds that he has time to answer, whereas before he used to just blurt out the answer or a reply. And now he kind of gets time to think or react. So where he would have had a lot of road rage, that kind of thing, when he was driving around, now he's much more calmer. Like, it's so funny. We do be laughing about it in the car going, oh my God, I didn't even react to that, And he plays golf, a big golfer, found it amazing for his golf, for being able to concentrate better and to be able to relax a lot more. Again, like the anxiety and the rage that would have come in when he missed a shot, because he's very perfectionist and a bit OCD. Now he's a lot calmer with that, so he's fully behind it. And as I said, for me as a parent, I find it so beneficial for just being relaxed and focused on what I need to do in the day and getting things done. So and so one question I'm asked all the time is, how do you do everything that you do? Does it come in capsules? Not yet. I am working on that. So it is quite a big process to get into capsules, and you want to make sure you have the right dosage and everything. So that's why I haven't done it yet, but it will be coming in capsules. To buy it in health stores, it's supposed to be strong in the chemist. Is this true? No. I would say to you, even a lot of the chemist brands, just because they might have the biggest ad campaign going. I remember there was one brand came out a while back and they got every blogger on site to sell the oil. And it turned out to be absolutely very little CBD in it. So you'll see lots of products. I bought a can of CBD drinks there in a garage today. There's feck all CBD in it. So they can have, this is where the problem comes in with the regularizations, which is why doctors and medical teams aren't really supposed to recommend it, even though my some medical staff that I work with are actually on it. Because, well, one of the pharmaceutical companies don't want it because it's actually a natural remedy and it's a lot better for you than, pharmaceuticals, so therefore they have issues with that. So don't, just do your research before you get products. This is where my video keeps going viral, because my video shows the results of it. You can't doctor my child being autistic and then more or less acting like a normal child, you know what I mean, or a typical child doing typical things. So I have the proof of it in that sense. But so, you can't make claims about it as well, and I don't claim. I'm just sharing my experience of how it helped us, and which is why I branded my own oil, because I really wanted people to understand it and not be afraid of it. As I said, I'm a big anti-drugs person, so for me to be sitting here with a bottle of oil in my hand, I can guarantee you, you can follow us over on Instagram by RHONA X. I share my journey every day. You can see I'm real. I'm not here being paid to do this, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I've always done this. I'm 7 years talking about CBD oil because it changed our lives so bloody much, and it's amazing. Is it something someone will have to take for life? If he stopped, will it make his progress stop? Yes, we will stay on it for life. I can't control, obviously, when he's older. My oldest son, Jamie, who's 19, he takes it for periods of time. He He doesn't need it a lot. He suffered hugely with anxiety when he was around 16, 17. Like, he'd cross the street, we saw somebody coming. And I did have him on it back then. He then got a job working in the local supermarket, was on the tills. He's in college now. He is one of the top. He won an award last year for Student of the Year in Maynooth College here, and is in marketing business, has a beautiful girlfriend, drives his own car, got his car first go, he's Asperger's, and is planning to travel around the world this year on holidays and stuff like that. He's very, very, very self-sufficient. So he takes it more in, like, or if he's got exams coming up, or if he feels anxiety, he'll take it. But for my other kids, yes, they will take it. Molly has Down syndrome, so she takes it. She loves it, actually. And she loves the taste of it, funny enough. She doesn't mind the taste at all. Joshua still query about the taste sometimes, but more because he knows I give him something nice if he takes it. He kind of plays on me with that a little bit now. And he's completely verbal now. I don't know whether I said that he's completely verbal and never stops talking. Mm-hmm. But Molly is pre-verbal. She wasn't sleeping well at all, so that's why I started her on it. She still wakes up some of the night, but it's more it's toilet training stuff that's going on at the moment, but she would sleep. Other than that, she's very relaxed. When she was off it for a while, we found in creche she was hitting out and biting, and it was so funny because I never tell the creche when they're on it or off, and I got calls like 3 days in a row going, she's very agitated, she's very frustrated, and she was shouting a lot more because obviously being pre-verbal, she can't express all the time what she's trying to say. She's getting really agitated and her tolerance was really low, so I put her back on the oil and she's on it ever since, and she's fine again. So I can tell. So sometimes she goes sorry, I lost train. I'm reading comments as I'm going, so I'm losing train of thought. Let me just see. My son is 3. We've been trying him on melatonin, which is help, but we're not comfortable with. So melatonin, again, is quite a natural remedy. My kids are both on the melatonin still. They have, so the melatonin will only get them to kind of relax and go to sleep. That won't keep them asleep. So I found the CBD oil kept them asleep. So the melatonin will kind of slow them down, but this is what I found regularly helped them to sleep all night. Where can you buy? So on my website, focusbyrhona.com. It's all, if you go onto my page, if you follow on here, you can I have all the videos up on my page, and all linked to my bio then as well, and all those videos on. If you miss this live, there's loads of videos on my page explaining it all in full details, and the video of Joshua's before and after, where you can actually see the results for yourself. And if you have any questions, I've been through this journey. I understand it's nice to actually talk to somebody and go, ooh. So it's I have no problem to talk to people, send me a message. You're better off to try and contact me on Messenger, on Instagram. I seem to get them much better. I will get back to every single message in time. I'll get a lot of messages, and obviously it's a lot to talk to everybody individually, but I do, because I know what it's like to be able to talk to somebody, and especially that it's not somebody. I'm a mother, and I'm as I say, we're on in 7 years. Do pure collab. If you contact me, I will be doing some collabs with this, but only with the right people who are genuinely have used this product, it works for them, and are genuinely real people doing it, not for just the money. This is not about money for me. This is my journey. I've had several businesses over the years, and this is the first business I've done that's really from the heart. This has been, everything I do has been focused around CBD oil. So I'm a wedding celebrant and makeup artist. I even find for brides, it calms them down. It's great for anyone with anxiety whatsoever, coming to exams, interviews, all that kind of stuff. Is a certain age it can be given. They do recommend over 2. Another thing that you need to be aware of is if their children or you are on medication, especially heart medication, you need to just double check with your doctor. You can just let them know that there's minimal traces of THC. I will have all the lab results up on the page. We're just waiting on to get them into a QR version. So all the lab results were there, so that you can show your doctor that. So you can let them know it's minimal THC. That's the one thing they worry about, is the THC. But they may say to you, take the CBD oil 2 hours after your medication. So that's the only reason you need to check it with them as well. And let the doctor see the search and stuff like that, so they can analyze it and see that, you know, it's fine for that. I came across your page a while ago, but I will 100% message you about the queries. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem at all. As I said, I have no problem to talk to anybody about queries. I am going to be doing a series of videos over the next while to answer all these questions in shorter videos, because it's the same questions keep coming in over and over, that people like to get the reassurance of. If you, anybody else, any questions before I go? My hands get sore actually standing here. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else you need to know? I will be doing videos of how to add it to food and stuff. One of the ways that we found much easier, because sometimes if you mix it with their favourite food and they get the taste of it, they may not like it. But one of the ways I found the best was if they eat toast, even with a half slice or a quarter slice of toast that you know they will finish, I put the drops on the plain toast first of all, and then put butter over it, because the oil in the butter with the oil in this mixed it really well. And actually the oil of the butter kind of took away a lot of the flavour of this. It's quite a strong tasting. And then they and then put even jam or butter or peanut butter over it as well. It's a great way. So my little girl stopped talking when she was 14 months old. I'm going to order this. Brilliant. And please let me know how you get on. As I say, be patient. That's the one thing people forget to do. They kind of go, they want the overnight cure. People see a video. That video is 7 years long of documenting. So don't expect results overnight, but do be positive and do watch for the little things. You know, and you'll find as well, one of the things actually I meant to say to you as well is, if you've taken it yourself, it's like taking a bit of time. You may not notice the changes yourself straight away. Other people will probably notice you. Like I noticed with my partner, I could see the changes in him way before he could see it. He felt like, oh, I don't feel any different on this. But other people around you are noticing how calm you are and how relaxed you are. And then it kind of kicks in, oh God, I realise I'm not doing that anymore. I'm on tamoxifen for breast cancer. Can I take it? You need to check with your doctor. I'm not a medic, unfortunately. But what I will say, and I've had a lot of people querying it about, you know, is it good for cancer? There's no, I can't give any medical advice on that. I'm not a doctor. But what I would say is, once your doctor has approved it, it's great for anxiety, because the anxiety of going through chemo and going to doctor's appointments, etc. You know, if you're more relaxed, it's with anything, if you're more relaxed with it, it's going to be a better result. So, but please do check with your doctor for that. So this is CBD oil, and it is for anxiety, stress, all that kind of stuff. So again, I'll be reposting this video, or if you go to my website, focusbyrhona.com, all the videos, I have a 1.5 hour video there explaining all of this in a shorter version. How many times a day do you give it to your kids, and what dose? So I give, again, a full dropper, morning and evening. So full dropper would be this. You give it a good shake first, a full dropper morning and evening. So one of these 30ml bottles will last you a month. That's roughly taking it twice a day. Days where we have a stressful day, or we're going on a day out, which would normally trigger the kids to be a little bit more, have more anxiety. Or for me, if I know I'm going to have to pack the kids, do all this sort of stuff, or I have a big meeting or anything like that, I'll just take a little bit more. You can't overdose really on CBD oil. The most you're going to do is get a little bit more lethargic or a little bit more relaxed, which to me is a good thing. But you're just wasting oil, because it's not going to do any more good if you take too much. But if you take too little, you can find you're a little bit more agitated. And oh my God, thank you, Shauna, from Mother to Mother. Thank you for dedicating your time to this. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. So yeah, if you give too little, it can actually create a little bit more agitation and a little bit more hyperness. So, and that's where a lot of people go, oh, it didn't work in my child, made them more hyper. No, you weren't given enough oil, because on the label you will have, on most labels with CBD oil, you will have take 1 drop a day. That's for legal purposes, you have to only say that. 1 drop a day is not going to be enough for, you know, for anxiety and stuff. 1 drop a day will be good for your body. Another benefit of it is the immune system. My kids were chronic asthma sufferers. They were on inhalers. We have nebulizers. We have emergency medication here. They were having asthma attacks once a month, each of them, with croup and all that kind of stuff. I was in the hospital every month with one of them, with a lot of things. Not one episode since. Molly had one, I think, but Joshua, none of them on their inhalers ever since starting it. They have never got COVID. They're not they had vaccinations for COVID for the first 2, but they didn't get anything after that. Their immune system is so much better. I'm very rarely sick either. I can nod cold or whatever, but nothing major. So it is if you look at your endocannabinoid system, which is what this benefits, that is also helps your immune system. So it's just a win-win. It's like, I that's why I really want people to understand it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not it's not the high that you think you're going to get. There's no hyperactive qualities in this. My son and I are both neurodivergent, and I'm so excited about this product from a trusted source. Thank you. And that's why I rebranded. So this, as I said, is the oil I've been using for years, just rebranded so I can talk about it because it's my oil now, because I know I can trust this oil. I have tried so many different oils over the years. They just didn't work for me, and they didn't work. This oil has had a huge success rate with people with high anxiety and autism, ADHD, that kind of thing. And it's, you know, there's so many oils out there, and it's very confusing with doses. People think, oh, the higher the dose, the stronger the way it's going to work. It doesn't work that way. It's how it's made, how the body receives it, the ingredients. So this is 2 ingredients in it. That's it, 2 ingredients. And I have videos of the 2 ingredients and how it's made, coming from there to there. It's literally made. I will be going to the farm here over the year and showing you the crop growing, and then when it's being harvested, when it's being made and pressed. So basically this plant, the 2 seeds are basically pressed together in this cold press machine, and they're squeezed together. The oil comes out. It's left to sit for I think it's 2 weeks, and then it's bottled. It's pure, absolute organic, natural product from the ground, and there is no other additives. That's it, just the 2 seeds. You have your hemp plant and your seed in it, and that is it. And I will have videos showing you how it's made when they are remaking the next batch. So that's it, and it's all bottled. I'm at the moment packing this from my kitchen table myself. This is my journey with it. I have a little hashtag going from Carla to New York, so I plan to bring this out in America. We have a company, we have the farms growing the plant over there at the moment, so we will be in America later on in the year, and I will be going over to show you it over there. That's the dream, and I want to be able to provide my kids with the best life possible. My dream is for my forever home. I'm still renting here, and I'm on my own with the kids living here. So I would love them to have their own bedrooms, to have space. So that's why I'm putting my heart and soul into this business, to build it for my kids so they can have the dream that they want, and the life that they deserve. So so that's why I'm setting up this company to build this brand, to educate. It's all about educating people on, and not to be afraid of CBD oil, and not to not to be afraid to try natural remedies. We all, if we go to the doctor and they hand us a prescription, we don't research it, we don't look it up. They're not natural products, they're pharmaceutical products. They're probably more addictive and more harmful to us than anything we know. And don't get me wrong, there's lots of pharmaceutical stuff that is great. So, but I'm into natural remedies. I'm into something that's from the ground, that's worked for years. You know, they do argue that there hasn't been enough testing, but it's been used for years, and there's never been anything bad said about it. You know what I mean? A long career journey. I wish you all the best and the most success you can imagine. Thank you so much. Such a worthy cause. I'll be sharing your journey for sure. Can't thank you enough. You're so welcome. And as I said, follow us over on Instagram by RHONA X. I'll be sharing every day as we go. The kids are up there. Joshua doesn't like being on camera too much. He doesn't like attention on him too much. So I'm trying to ease off in his way. Molly, on the other hand, is the star of the show, and she loves her attention. So you'll be sick of seeing Molly on there. But I'm sharing my journey as a special needs parent. And as I say, you need to look after yourself first. You will be such a better person. Like when you go on the airplane and they say put on your mask first, and then you look after everybody else. And I used to argue that, God, I'm not going to save myself first, but you're absolutely no use to your kids if you're full of anxiety and stress trying to deal with them. So, and that's what kids with special needs are not. As a parent, as a sister, as a carer, as anything, you have to look after yourself first, and then that will rub off on everyone around you. So, right, that is it. That is my chat for tonight. I'm going to come on live every week here and update and, you know, fill in the journey a little bit more. So hopefully you'll join me on here. Don't forget to give me a follow on my page, and follow me over on Instagram as well. And if you have any questions, as I said, go through the website focusbyrhonax.com, and you can message me on Instagram. And if you have any questions or any particular things you want to ask, don't be afraid to ask. And thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. And first live in a while. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week.